Hello, beautiful soul family, and welcome to our new pick a reading. I'm just going to do a really short intro because we're doing 5 readings today. I'm sure at this point you've seen on the cover photo there are 5 doorways to walk through. And today we are going to be asking Spirit, what past life is holding me back from my future? And I think this one is so vital right now, and why I wanted to speak before the reading is because in real time, today is February 5th, 2026. And it is an 8 number, which is infinity, is there's no beginning and no end. And that's us as spiritual beings, and we're having a human experience. But in real time, we are less than 2 weeks away from the new moon in Aquarius, which is also the same day where we will be saying goodbye to the wood snake and hello to the fire horse. That's why I feel like this reading is more vital than ever, because it is not forcing us, but asking us to please look at our past so that we can move forward in our present and seek the beauty and the accolades and the success and the warmth and the love and the healed energy of the future. We are just in the muck of it, and it's not fun and it's not always easy. But once we can recognize what it is that's holding us back, then we have no more excuses. We have no more, oh, I'll do this tomorrow, or, this will work itself out. Some things, yes, they are meant to just work themselves out. But some things are meant for us to face them head on and heal them, especially if you chose a life to have a tragic ending or a tragedy happen that you never recover from. If you carry that energy with you into the next life, you're not just carrying it through you, you're carrying it through your lineage. And we must now stop looking at things with such a me, and look at it more as a whole. We are healing collectively as a whole. So in order for us to do that, we need to look at ourselves, past, present, and future, and our desires, our wants, and really look at it and say, what is holding me back? What has controlled or tethered me to something that no longer works for me in this life? Now, because this is the past life deck, it is absolutely going to show some of you, it could be a real true, like another lifetime and a different avatar, a different name, you know what I mean? But it could be for some of you, it could just be, I really don't know, because even when I was choosing the cards, I tried not to look at them. But it could be something from this life that's quote unquote a past life, right? It's time to move on to a new chapter. And for us to look at things not through the eyes of what has happened to me, but what has happened for me. Not to be the victim, but to be the curator of your own destiny. Now, some things, if you dragged it over from another life, it must be healed and looked at now in order for you to move forward. 2026 is literally like the whole entire planet won the lottery. So this kind of energy hasn't been around for thousands of years. So the politics and all that, like all that stuff's going to work itself out. Okay? We send it love. We pray for it. If you feel like you're an advocate for it, absolutely go for it. But for the rest of us, we are here to elevate the vibration of Earth itself, and we're all doing a really, really grand job. Like I'm hearing from Spirit, like we're all doing a really good job. It's just this last little thing that we must tweak and change right now in order for us to move forward. Because remember, if you're holding yourself back from the life that was meant for you, remember that there are other people that are involved that are just waiting to love you, waiting to know you, waiting to be loved and known by you. So hiding in an old memory or an old place is not going to serve you moving forward. Okay? So with that being said, I love you guys so much. Here are the names of our readings. Number 1, Hope. Number 2, visions. Number 3, hearing you now. Number 4, monochrome. Number 5, tremendous success. Now, you saw the pictures at the beginning, okay? So maybe one of the doors, if not, go back and look at the cover photo. Maybe one of the doors where you were really drawn to it. If not, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link below and look in the description box under the timestamps. There'll be links to each of these songs, because these were songs, and you guys know I love I love me some music. I love my music, and today it was no different. So this was a little wink wink from spirit. So don't just go to it because it's like tremendous success. Yes, that's what I want. We have no idea what this reading is going to be yet. I haven't done it yet, right? But if the word called to you, absolutely. And if it is tremendous success, sure. I mean, who knows what the medicine will be. If you're drawn to it, you're drawn to it. If you're drawn to more than one, absolutely, positively take it as your medicine. But I know a lot of times you guys like to watch the whole reading. I feel like for this one, it may be better for you to just choose 1 or 2 or maybe even 3. But I feel like I'm not saying that it couldn't be possible, because all things are possible, but I'm just getting the vibe from spirit that these are very specific, like very specific. So if you go to, let's just say you're drawn to reading 1, and then, like I said, reading 5, you're like, oh, tremendous success, I want that, you know. You could confuse yourself. You can confuse the situation right now when spirit's trying to give you pearls, right? They're trying to give you the map to yourself. They're trying to give you the map to find your tremendous success, but they're saying, you know, maybe you need to tweak this one thing, right? So it's sometimes we can get confused. And when I do this many readings in one, I always get the vibe from spirit to put that out there, because especially in something like this, these I have a feeling they're going to be very specific. Okay, so I love you so much. All my information is in the description box if you'd like to contribute to the work that I do in this channel, or if you'd like to work with me one-on-one, by yourself, in a group, with a couple, whatever it is. Shoot me an email, and actually I shouldn't say that. Send me an email. I'm going to try and change my languaging. Send me an email. I work on a sliding scale, and we will figure out what is the best work for you to get some, maybe in this reading or other readings you haven't received the one-on-one guidance that you really need. Remember, I'm also a teacher, so it's not just about, you know, woo, and reading your future or whatever like that. It's so much deeper than that. So I'm here to help you find your breadcrumbs to your utopia, because it's just sitting there waiting for you. Your new reality is just sitting there waiting for you. All right, you guys, I'll see you over at your reading. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other. Blessed be. Oh, bye. Ooh, welcome reading 1. This is going to be so fun, because today is an 8-day, and the only time I look at the clock is when spirit calls me to for angel numbers and stuff. So I didn't even realize until I went to hit start for yours that it was at exactly 8 minutes that I stopped the intro. I'm like, I love that kind of stuff. So you chose hope. You chose hope. And because they'll probably have me put it at like 8:01, I feel like that's number 9. I'm hearing for some of you, you're still stuck in the past, because I feel like something may have really triggered you in 2025. I feel like, you know, somebody, if I can find it, I'll post it on a shorts, you know, before this, so that you can go and check it out and you'll see it, because you'll know. But it said something about, you know, 2023 brought us this, 2024 brought us this, 2025 brought us this, and they're like, you know, 2026 is going to bring us this. And I kind of feel like that's where you guys are. I get it, you know, in real time, it's only February 4th, you know, it's not that far into the year. It's 1 full month into the year, but we just got here. And when I looked down, I saw the number 13. So work with the number 13, which is also the number 4. And 4 is a very big number for us this year. Even though 2026 is a 10 year, take away the 0, a 1, endings, new beginnings. It's also about the balance. And it's interesting because I saw this headline that said, you know, Kelly Clarkson is stopping her show. And when asked why, she said, to spend more time with my kids and seek balance. And I thought, oh man, that's exactly right, right? Like that takes so much energy. Also, you guys, I have to show you this. Hold on, I'm moving the camera, but look at this. Look at where the light is hitting our readings today. So I feel like maybe some of you, maybe some of this astrology means something to you. Interesting. So I feel like that was for somebody. Maybe you just needed that little light, right? Like the rainbow. Maybe you needed something, because, I mean, the title of your reading is Hope. So let's see what it is that is holding you back. And maybe that's what Spirit's trying to tell you, you know, through Kelly Clarkson is, and thank you, Kelly, is define the number 4 meaning in your life, that balance. It's about striking a true balance and strong foundation. Even when I was setting your reading up, I mean, I didn't really move the altar. I already had set it up. But when I put your card down, it was fighting me. Like it wanted to be this way. And if you can see, it's like looking at this, you can't really tell. It's like, is the card crooked? Is the camera crooked? And I kind of feel like this is you guys. Hold on. Okay, I had to pause because I did let out a tremendous burp. I feel like some of you, all of a sudden out of nowhere, I just got this indigestion really bad, and I'm getting even a spark of heartburn out of nowhere. Oh, when I looked down, it was 11:11. I'm feeling a lot of stress. I'm feeling a lot of anxiety from you guys, which is ironic that you chose hope, because I'm feeling, before we even look at the card, seriously, my body is like convulsing right now. I had to pause again. There is so much that wants to be released from your body. It's as if I'm looking at your past and you are so hopeful. Like right now, I'm just going to tell you what I see. Okay. So if this links with you, it links with you. Remember that I'm a medium, I'm a channeler, I'm a telepathic medium. So I'll hear your thoughts, but I also will see imagery. And I'm seeing, at first I saw a woman, it felt like biblical times. She had a shroud over her head and long clothing. Yes, it definitely felt like that time period, but I didn't feel fear. I felt like a young maiden kind of energy, maybe teens, early 20s, but just this very hopeful. It's almost like I feel like you come from nothing. Like you have no money, no nothing, but you have like this beautiful farm. You have this beautiful place. You eat all of your own food. Yeah, sometimes things are a little lean for you guys, but for the most part, you grow your own food, you eat your own food. I see you like going to market, like you know, like even if someone's like, oh, I heard your father lost a whole crop or something, and I feel like you're like, oh, it's okay though, you know what, we were blessed the year before and we're flush right now, so all is well. Like I feel like, you know, no matter what people would say to you, you would not let it get you down. And I feel like in this life you're hopeful, but you almost feel like a fraud. Like you're just like, I say I'm hopeful or act hopeful, but I'm not really hopeful. Like in the background, I'm like literally falling apart. And I'm hearing from Spirit, it's not yours. When I looked down, it was 1313. Oh my gosh. Also, 13 is the number of the goddess. So I'm hearing really work with your divine feminine energy. Before we pull the card, I want to really emphasize, I'm hearing I think they want me to pull more than one card for you guys. I said, are we going to pull cards? More than one card so reading 1. Do we have any cards for reading 1? Besides the one there that we haven't pulled yet, the main card. Okay, this one, okay, the cards just flew all over the room. Okay. Oh, and there's rainbows everywhere. Yeah, I feel like you were the kind of person that was like, look, a rainbow. And, you know, it's like, even if there's like a drought, a famine, whatever, you just found the light and the light found you. Like the light always finds you. Whether you're upside down, right side up, like the light always finds you. That's what you were born to be, like a beacon of light, a beacon of hope. So let's see what your card is. Transportation. Oh, interesting. When I looked down, it was 1413 and then it was 1414. You know, if you're new here, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. You know, as I do when I call out numbers, those are, I'm not looking at the camera. I'm having, you know, this interaction with you. So when I do, and there's certainly numbers like that, like 1413 meant like, to me, I felt like when I saw that, it was like you're almost there. Like you're so close. You just need to, I feel like for some of you, you're like, you still have hope now. You're just like, what is it? Like, why? I'm doing everything. I'm baby stepping. I'm doing the work. Like, why aren't things happening? And Spirit's like, because of this thing that we're about to talk about is really big for you guys. So transportation came through, and I rarely read from the book because this is a really old deck, and oh gosh, you guys, look at, I just opened up to it. That's crazy. And it's not like dog-eared or anything. It's not like, I actually, I've had this deck for like probably, I don't know, 8 or 9 years, and look at how new the book is. Like, I rarely use the book because they use a lot of like biblical stuff, and those of you who know, like, it's not like I'm anti-Bible, because there's some beautiful things in there. It's just when you were raised the way that I was, very right-wing Republican Christian, and like, I wasn't allowed to be myself, and like all these things. It's like, talk about triggers, right? So this book I don't read a lot because I don't agree with everything they say. So if there's something I don't agree with, I'll change it in the way that Spirit asks me to. So it says, this card signifies that you had intense experiences involving transportation in prior lifetimes. This is especially true if you presently have phobias related to airplane, cars, and so on. And these fears don't dissipate as a result of getting traditional counseling or hypnotherapy. In those cases, you likely suffered a traumatic past life event in some type of vehicle, which has caused you to lose trust in it. You may have been involved in the invention of a form of transportation or related technology. I just heard Atlantean, and there is Atlantis card in here. Well, I'm curious to see what your next card is, but so it could be something like that, where they like us to believe the narrative they've been, force feeding us for thousands of years, this bullshit, but we're all seeing through it now. And, in Atlantis, like, they had forms of technology way beyond like things we have now. A lot of different time periods, like, they were smart. They learned how to use the elements. They learned how to use the earth. They didn't try to manipulate them the way that man, has been doing for, how many years now. So it says, you may have been involved in the invention of a form of transportation or related technology, and that knowledge wants to serve you in this lifetime. This includes those who lived during the time of Atlantis, when transportation was fueled by solar and crystal power. Your life purpose may involve reawakening the knowledge of alternative modes of transportation, which could be environmentally beneficial to our world at this time. My partner was living off-grid, and they were really sick and tired of hauling water in because they had to walk so far in to the woods where they were living, he and his roommate. And so he's like, this is ridiculous. He's like, the river is actually closer to the house than the, where they park their vehicles. So he decided to, he literally just figured it out, trial and error. He found a way to fuel water from the river into the house. Because you know what? Where there's a will, there's a way. Also, I just saw 1811 and then 1812. So work with 1811 and 1812. If it resonated for you, if you felt oh my gosh, I'm so drawn to the early 1800s. There may have been something that happened. Maybe you got hit by a train. Maybe when did trains come in? Was it 18? I know it was the 1800s, but I don't know if it was that early. It might have been mid 1800s. I know it's horrible. You think I would know because I'm American, but I don't. Because I know the railroad I know that it literally like changed America in the 1800s. Like, I get that, but I don't remember exactly when it started. But I would definitely like look into if that resonated with you. Like, I have, like, between World War I and World War II, I have vivid memories and vivid dreams about being a dual spy to try and stop the Nazis. So, I obviously was alive then. So you must have, at least one of you who are watching this reading, oh gosh, when I looked at it, it was 1913. Look at that, 100 years later. So it could be some of you, it was 1913. Okay, so very interesting, right? I mean, Spirit this card could have been reading 2, reading 5, you know what I mean? But it's like, I feel like they specifically wanted you to go first, because whatever some of you are going through were those specific actual time periods. And as I do, I rarely give time, because it's ridiculous in a way, because not just that it's a man-made construct, but also for the fact that everybody has free will. So, even when I do readings, it's like, anything could change. Right now, that's what I see, right? Or like right now, that's what's coming through. But that doesn't mean that that is what is going to be, you know what I mean? Like 5 minutes from now, because everything's ever changing. And whatever I am saying and thinking right now, someone else can say and think something else at the same time and put it out into the universe. You know what I mean? Like we're always changing and evolving all the time. So I just saw somebody getting decapitated too. It was almost like I watched this thing. Oh my gosh, it was nerve-wracking to watch. But you know, when something comes into my wake, I know it's like for something. But they were showing these people on this bridge and on a boat, and it was a tour. And this guy stood up to take a picture, and this woman went, and she like yelled in another language, and he's like, what? And the woman, like, other person pulled him down because he was about to fucking lose his head. They were about to go under the bridge. I mean, if you know, I don't know how fast they were going, but if not, he would have been really hurt because it was a cement bridge. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, sometimes you're just like, la, 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 and bam, you're dead. So remember that if you did do something like that, you obviously wanted it to go quick, right? No pain, no whatever. Maybe the life before you had a painful death. So this, you know, who knows? But what I'm getting is that, you know, maybe if you have a weird thing with your neck, or you don't like things around your neck, or, you know, it could be anything like that. I just saw a hanging, you know, I mean, right? Because there's so many of you watching these. So it's like, I'm seeing, you know, multiple deaths. I mean, this could be even more than one death for one person. You know what I mean? So it's time to reconcile with that. Okay. So let's see what the second card is. Lessons and blessings. Interesting. Lessons and blessings. Okay. So also look at time. Remember I just said something about the time construct or whatever. Ooh, okay. Interesting. Spirituality and religion opened up. Look at that. And it's on page 83, which is also the number 11. So it could be something to do with spirituality and religion for some of you guys too, but also look at, my thumb went to that, like the lessons and blessings, which is on page 59, which comes down to the number 5, change and transformation. Okay. So, and it could be an age for you guys. Number 59 could be an age that you died. You drew this card as a sign that the situation you're currently experiencing is a result of prior lifetimes. Take a look at the other cards that you drew along with this one to get a sense of where or when that life occurred. This card means that you learned important lessons, which are bringing blessings to your present lifetime. Nice. Congratulations, you mastered how to turn painful events and memories into growth experiences. You can apply the same strength to every area of your life. Okay, so let's see. Are there any more? I heard 2 and 5. So if you were drawn to 2 and 5, there might be something in there for you. Oh, we got another card that just came out. Look at this, you guys. Leaving or travel. Come on. Leaving or travel after we just spoke about transportation. I'm also getting, like, for some of you, it feels like, remember in the Titanic where Jack and his friend won tickets to the Titanic through a poker game, and they were like, holy crap, like we're going to America, you know, like they were what they called vagabonds back then, right? Like they didn't really have a home, they didn't, you know, they just kind of, they weren't really like homeless, they were gypsies, right? Like they went where they wanted to go. When they made money, they went somewhere. They needed to make money, they played poker, they, you know, did whatever. And I remember the one part where Jack, you know, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, says something like, when after he meets Rose, played by Kate Winslet, he says something like, wow, and we thought we just won the lottery to go to America and start a new life. He's like, you know, I got to meet you or whatever, you know, and it's like, but little did they know, you know, it's like they thought that they were buying their ticket to freedom and to a new world and a new life, and they end up dying on the way there, right? We know the story of the Titanic. You know, only a handful of people survived. So it could even be something like that, where like maybe in the 1900s, I mean, look at you guys, 1913, 1912. I'm almost 100% sure that the Titanic was 1912. So that's kind of interesting. So it could be something like that too. Maybe you were on a boat. Maybe you were on the Titanic. Why not? Why couldn't you be in, you know, there were hundreds of people that died. It was a really big deal. Also, I feel like some of you fled because of your parents. You could have had money. I did hear that from Spirit. You could have had money. Something's burning. Hold on. I just want to make sure that... Okay. I thought it was like, I'm like, talk about past life stuff, right? So let's hear what the leaving and travel has to say. You drew this card because of an old pattern spanning several lifetimes that involves travel and leaving. You may notice in this lifetime that you're a vagabond of sorts and want to continually be moving. You may wish to travel often or seek out a career in which you do so. You may also tend to move to new homes frequently. It's on page 57, so that could be an age as well. Or it could be, if you add it together, it's the number 12. And if you add that together, that's number 3. Okay, so you develop this propensity for leaving and movement out of necessity during your lives as a Bedouin or other type of nomad, right? Like I just spoke of, right? Like a gypsy. Your relationships may have also involved you leaving your partner or being left by a partner who traveled. This kind of movement is impacting the situation that you're inquiring about today. I just heard freeze frame. Freeze frame, that song. Yeah, I feel like some of you are caught in like a picture and a memory and like in something, but you're actually meant to move around for your job. Like this just came to me, like especially I just had the 1 year anniversary of my familiar passing, and it made me realize, yeah, like I mean, I spent a huge chunk of my life like traveling a lot and moving a lot, and then when I got my cat, I did, you know, move and do things like that with her, but I didn't travel as much because whenever I was gone for long periods of time, she would disappear. And one time I was gone for 30 days and my partner's like, I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want to freak you out, but because I hadn't booked my trip back yet. And he was like, but Bubba's been gone for 5 days. I'm like, what? I'm like, what do you mean she's been gone for 5 days? I'm like, and you're just telling me now? I was like losing my mind. Long story short, I went frazzly crazy, trying to get all my people together to help me like get on a flight. I'm like, I need to get on a flight like as soon as possible. And so I booked my flight, and I'm not exaggerating. I booked my flight. I texted him and said, okay, this is my flight. This is when I'm coming in. It was like the next day or like 2 days max. And about, I don't know, maybe an hour later, he's like, Baba's back. And she was like, okay, it's time for you to come back now. And she had herself a grand old time. I have no idea where she was. Alder said she looked good. She was fed. All was well. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, that cat, you know? So, you know, it could be, you know, for some of you, it's like, I realized myself recently, like, and those of you who don't know, I've announced it on a few of my other episodes of different things on this channel, but I'm moving to Hawaii. I don't know if I'm staying in Hawaii, but I know that like I'm leaving the Pacific Northwest, like leaving it, like where Spirit had me go through things with my pendulum, and I'm literally getting rid of like 80% of my stuff. So, you know, sometimes it's just time to move on. And maybe some of you are like stuck in a freeze frame because you're afraid of abandonment. You could have abandonment issues. I just got my throat chakra just got tight. You know, so you're like maybe afraid to leave your situation because you don't know, like you're afraid of the unknown. And like, if you had a past life where you died quickly or something, you know what I mean? All the things that we spoke of, that could absolutely be what is impacting you right now on moving forward. Also, I saw the number 28. And so I feel like that could be something for somebody like in terms of age. So let's see, do we have any more messages that want to come through? I'm hoping you guys will watch these and have like little aha moments. You know what I mean? Like that you'll be like, okay, that makes sense, or that makes sense, or whatever. Because I know for some of you, it's like you have no animals, no children, no, like nothing is technically holding you back. The only thing holding you back is fear and comfort. Because even when, and here's the thing, even when we're like in our lowest, or we're like, I don't have enough money to do that, or I don't have enough money to blah, blah, blah. It's like, when we make excuses like that, we are telling the universe that we are helpless and we can't do anything for ourselves. And It's like if you keep perpetuating that energy in 2026, I literally, one of my spirit guides literally said in like the nicest way, they're like, you'll be sorry. Like, you will be sorry. And for some of you, I'm getting from spirit, they're like, what are you, like, there is nothing for you where you are. You think that it is, but it's not. I mean, you know, what would it be like to go live on the street? Like, what would that be like? You know, when I lived in Los Angeles, I remember one time I was down at the beach and I had this really interesting conversation with this elder man who was home free. And he said something like he had been home free for like 26 years or something. And I was like, what? And I said, by choice. And he goes, oh yeah. He's like, oh, I had a lot of money. I had, you know, blah, 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 blah. He's like, but I was miserable. He goes, I feel more free now than I've ever felt in my lifetime. And I said, well, I guess, you know, if you're going to be home free, this is probably the place to do it, right? Because, you know, it doesn't get like, they do have, you know, cold snaps and things like that. But even so, Southern California doesn't get super cold. It's not like he's like home free in Alaska, right? So, I mean, it's like maybe you're meant to go travel to some warm country and I mean, you just never know. Or maybe you're meant to like go get a job. I don't know. I'm not getting anything else and I don't want to put anything out there. Maybe one of the other readings will help you. Hopefully this helped you. Are there any more messages, Spirit, from any ancestors or any last parting words of wisdom? Nope, that's it. I hope these helped you in any way. Don't forget, okay, we've got the new moon in Aquarius. People are going to start feeling a lot better once the fire horse comes in. So maybe it's not about making the action right now. Maybe it's just about setting the intention right now so that when that new moon comes around, you know, you're telling the universe and dream big, dream big. You know, use whatever languaging feels good and say things like, thank you, Spirit, for helping me, show me, because this was a mass reading, right? So there were a lot of things that were said, but, you know, saying something like, thank you, Spirit, for showing me what I need to look at and heal from whatever past life or this life to move forward. And really sitting with it and facing it and working through it, right? Fortune favors the bold. And you know what? The universe loves the underdog. If you go out there, they will help you. I promise. I promise you. Take the leap. Trust. Trust yourself and trust Spirit. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other. All of my information's in the description box, and we'll see you next time. Blessed be. Oh, love you. Bye. Welcome, reading 2. It's interesting too because it was at 3242. And you're reading 2, so that's kind of interesting. I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but it just came out. So you chose visions. I'm not 100% sure. Some of the cards fell when I was trying to not see them. I think I know what yours is, but I'm getting the vibe to go right into it. We didn't do that with one, but yes. Okay, so the theme of today is what past life is holding you back from your future. So something in the Greek Roman times, biblical times, but specifically Greek Roman, because I mean, there's literally like biblical, there's literally a card in this deck called like biblical times or something. So I don't want to say anything unless it comes through, because I feel like this is so, I don't want to say serious, because I feel like for some of you, languaging is really important, but Spirit wants you to lighten up. I literally heard you have got to lighten up. This was the first reading that the rosemary came in, so rosemary might be significant for you guys. If not, you might want to work with rosemary. Research rosemary. Just rosemary has so many different healing energies and properties. Also, I feel like this is for at least one person. It's really good for hair loss. So there are so many homemade remedies that you can make with rosemary oil to put on your scalp for hair loss. It really works. It really does work. So I don't know who that's for. They said don't read from the book yet. So I'm going to go into the deck and see if any other cards come through for you guys. Also, I'm curious to know, please tell me in the description box, like I'm curious to know if any of you had any aversion. Like I literally heard that for some of you, this, I feel like even seeing the words or this imagery could be hard for you to look at. Do any of you have anything like that? Oh my gosh, this was upside down. Transportation. So if you were drawn to reading 1, this was their key card, was transportation. I feel like it doesn't even want to. Also, I was about to move the camera to go more on the train, but they drew my eyes to, do you see this here? I don't know if you guys have been seeing that or if you want to scry it. But I have to tell you, before this started, I saw a something in the shape of a bird, and now I see a bird in there too. I also see a butterfly. Also, on the front of the train, I cannot not see a clock. There's something to do with time and, oh, travel, time travel. Time travel. Oh my gosh, I feel like I was just on a game show. If I wish I could put you guys in my brain. Maybe you saw it too if you are a telepathic medium like me. But it was so awesome though, because I literally, like, you know, when you're like playing a game and someone's like, and you're like, and they're showing you and they're giving you the clues and you're like, time travel, time travel. That's why they wanted me to put transportation down. Okay, so I feel like for some of you, you've been time traveling since you lived in Greco-Roman times. Like, I feel like you go back and forth, or maybe you have dreams about it. Like, oh, please comment below. I love when people are like, dude, yes. I mean, as a medium, it's fun because you have to remember that, like, yes, you know, I have a lot of different gifts and whatever, and I'm an earth angel and all that, but, and I have sacred knowledge that not everybody has, but what I do have, or what I don't get all the time is like that, you know, where I'm seeing something so vividly and then I'm reading for somebody and they're like, holy shit, dude, like, they're like, that's exactly what happened or whatever. And I'm like, dude, I can see it, like, you know. So I feel like maybe this is for some of you guys too, but I'm in so many places right now. Hold on, give me a minute. I literally started to get dizzy. I had to hold my head. Hold on. Let's breathe. Let's breathe. This is why you guys feel the bird. That's why you feel so fucking crazy, because you're always traveling. You're always traveling. Look at the way the fire, and even like, look at that crystal. Do you see the blue on the bottom? On the bottom of that train card, those are reflections from the fire and crystals. So just so you know, that's not normally on the card. I'm hearing Arcturian. So some of you, maybe you really align with the Arcturians. If you don't know what they are, research them. ARCTURIAN. Thank you, Spirit. Also, I'm going to ring a bell right now because I feel like some of you, I'm also, my Egyptian bell just came in. I feel like some of you, you just go around and around and around. That's why, because this was what past life is holding you back from your future. I feel like you guys are just, you're not in this fucking life. That's just to break up the energy. I know it might be a little harsh, but you really need it. My mama used to say, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Just because you can astral travel, just because you can time travel doesn't mean you should. You know what? Listen, I'm just going to say this. This is for at least one person. Another reason why you have to stop it is you fuck with the time continuum when you do it, because you're so powerful and you're a light worker and an angel. But like the interesting thing is, this is the only life that you started doing it in this life. You've always had the ability to do it, but you had a different respect level for spirit and whatever. But I feel like you guys are just really old, and I almost feel like some of you, like, you do it for fun. You know, like when you're bored, you just like go to different time periods. And, you know, I mean, I've read for people who are like, no, dude, like I'm like wearing the clothes, like I'm there, like I know I'm there, like as real as this is. I'm like, no, I fucking get it. I get it. I do the same. I have the same ability. In fact, I woke up this morning and I thanked Spirit because let me tell you, there's a huge difference. You can do that kind of stuff in your dream state without actually going and fucking with timelines and time continuums. Listen, you obviously haven't done anything that wasn't like course corrected. You know what I mean? Like other light workers and angels, basically they're just like, it's kind of like when you work on a team and one of the team members is like, I'm going rogue, you know, like, you know what? I'm smarter. I know better, blah, blah, blah. But the other team members, they're smarter and know better too, but they're like, no, we're not meant to get involved or no, you know, blah, blah, blah. And your ego is driving you. So what I started to realize was there's an awesome playground called the subconscious. When you're sleeping, you can still do fun stuff, but you're not actually going to different time periods. Let me explain. Spirit gave it to me as subconscious city. When I woke up this morning, I was in subconscious city and I knew it, and I woke up and I literally said to Spirit, which thank you so much, like, because I had such a good time. Obviously this was going to be connected to this reading. I felt a reading yesterday. I knew I was going to wake up and do this reading. I felt it. I didn't know what the reading was going to be, but like this aligns, like wink, wink, you know, because I literally woke up this morning from subconscious city and thanked Spirit for gifting me subconscious city because it is a really fun place to play and have fun. Look at that. Look at the way that, do you see how the light is breathing? It's a place to just go and be. Now, nothing in subconscious city leaves subconscious city, meaning like it's your subconscious. You're going into your subconscious and working through traumas, pain, suffering, but also having fun, doing silly things. You know, like I've been in subconscious city where I'm like the most crazy thing will be happening and I start laughing at Spirit because I'm like, oh, I'm in subconscious city. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. But what I realize in subconscious city is that I can do whatever I want there, but I'm not really going to affect the time continuum. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? Do you understand? So it's time for you when you're going into your dream state to be like, I want to go to subconscious city, but I don't want to go to past time periods and fuck with the time continuum. Thank you, Spirit. Now, mind you, they wouldn't allow you to fuck with the time continuum if you weren't, you know what I mean? It's just another form of experience that you signed up for. But it kind of reminds me of like, you know, when the light, like when the train is coming through and they'll like do their lights, like if you're on the track or whatever, they're like beep, 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 like they're trying to warn people like train's coming, big ass fucking metal coming at you. That's another thing too, is I feel like for some of you, it's escapism. It's a form of escapism. But you have to give your past and your present and your future its due. I just got the chills all over my body. This has been coming up for a lot of us. I get it. You know, it's hard pulling out of the third dimensional reality. It's hard, like really, really, really pulling out of it. Like not using the toxic chemicals, not using the, you know, not eating those foods that, you know, are secretly killing you. Like, no, I mean, it's like when we look at it, I mean, people are starting to get outraged now. That's what we need. We need people, because shit doesn't fucking change until, you know, it's like people are like, oh, that's so horrible. Oh, that's so horrible, until it fucking comes knocking at your door. And then it's more than just terrible. It's like, holy shit, like what is happening? What is going on? By the way, this has to, my eyes are being drawn to the male of the deck, on the male of the deck. I was reading male, female. Divine masculine, divine feminine. That's what's happening right now. It's the cross divide, crash and uprising of both. The shadow and light of both. So Spirit is saying your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to stop flim-flamming. Stop living in your, I feel like for some of you, like you can't wait to go to sleep. Because when you go to sleep, you can go to like all these different places. But remember, you can still do that in subconscious city. Okay? I don't know if they... Do you want to pull any more cards? Okay. This feels very... hold on. Also, your new mantra is, I am a millionaire. Some of you are just too focused on, like... I feel like in a lot of your lifetimes, let's put it this way. If you found yourself here, most likely, like, you are a light worker or an earth angel or all of the above. You are a healer, a witch healer, deep down believer in magic. Like, you know, right? But at the same time, you're not taking the responsibilities of a light worker and still, like, living and hiding in, like, this old world. And I kind of feel like this is your call to the carpet from spirit, so to speak. Also, this happened in the other reading, so I feel like it needs to happen for you too. Look at where my crystals in the window are creating a rainbow through this door. Spirit's like, look at it in subconscious city. You can go anywhere you want. It's super nice. By the way, for reading 1, it went on to like the reading for today. The rainbow was on there. See, it's not on there anymore because the light changes, the light switches. And I feel like Spirit is saying, like, you guys are light workers and healers, and you just I feel like you're just it's almost like, oh, I don't know how to explain it. They're showing it to me, but I'm like, how do you want me to explain this? You're not grounded. It's like whatever life you chose or whatever, it's like the choices that you made for this lifetime, your karmic choices, you're running away from the karmic choices that you made for this lifetime. And yeah, they're hard, you know? I have lived in the lap of luxury and had somebody open, doors for me. I never even had to do anything but open my front door, from the time I got out of, a cab to, I didn't even have to press the button on the elevator if I didn't want to. You know what I mean? To now I live off grid and I have to boil my own water, toss out my own, I have a compost toilet. You know what I mean? I'm 54. I've lived many lifetimes in this lifetime. But karma is real. And instant karma is going to get you. So they're like, it's like, just face it now. Otherwise, it's going to come at you like a fucking freight train, like that big ass heavy old train. It is going to come at you, and see how frail, like the Greco-Roman, like when you look at that, I mean, really look at it closely. If that train was going at full speed at that building, I think it could knock it down just because it's so old. You know what I mean? And I kind of feel like, I don't know. I just heard you're fucking with things. I feel like some of you, and it could even be spell work. Maybe you're doing like certain things like, if you ever try to take anyone else's free will, that is like one of the worst karmic things you can ever do for yourself. I'm not joking or messing around, you guys. Like, seriously. I just feel like I'm just getting the vibe from spirit that there's something, especially visions, right? Like, you chose this. The title of this is Visions. There's a song below. It's a really cool song. I never heard it before, that I don't even remember the artist, but I know that they'll have me, by this point, it's in the description box, and I'll list them like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it'll be under Visions, and that's what the song and the album is called. So there might be some more pearls for you in the song. If they call me to, I'll try and find the song with the lyrics on it. Whichever one they call me to, that's the one that you're meant to listen to and work with. But I just am getting the vibe from spirit that no more fucking around, no more playing. They said no more playing around, but honestly, like, it's almost like I feel like the light is coming down to you where spirit's like, stop it, because it's like, oh, this is what they wanted me to end with. So like, don't be that person that works in a group and goes rogue without the rest of the group. Because there's a reason why you're one of many. You're not the Messiah. We all are the Messiah. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, so when you go rogue because you think you know better, or when you're traveling to other places because you want to help, or you are having a good time, or anything like that, they're like, the rest of us have to work that much harder to go back and fix your fucking mistakes. And that's what they want you to take away from that, because they're not mistakes, right? We're all learning. We all had our karmic planet, but it's also that they want you to look at it from the human standpoint of working as a team. Here on Earth, the rules are different than in the spirit realm, right? It's like Prince, right? He's like in Let's Go Crazy, right? He's like, or he's like, oh, what is it, Prince? The afterworld, a world of never-ending happiness. You can always see the sun, day or night. So when you call up that shrink in Beverly Hills, you know, the one, Dr. Make You Feel All Right, right? Dr. Feel Good. He's talking about how much your mind, right? They're like, you can get so spun out here that you're like going to these other places, but it's like, this is what you chose. This is your work. This is part of your path. This is part of your purpose. And for some of you, you're like, I don't know what it is. It's like, yeah, because you're so lost in all these other places. It's time to get serious and ground. And I'm hearing your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to meditate for at least 2 minutes minimum every day for the next 30 days. If you have to put it on a timer, you have to put it on a calendar. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be the exact time every day. You know, it could be after you wake up, you just lay there for 2 minutes and breathe in and out and just connect to the divine. Thank them for being alive. Asking Spirit, how may I serve myself in the collective today? How can I help myself in the collective today? How can I love myself and the collective today more? You know, things like that. Or it could be 2 minutes just staring out a window, not having any thoughts at all, just reconnecting with the divine, because that's what it is. I feel like you just need to ground and center and remember that this is where you are right now. And some of you might have some Grecian old, like, you know, memories too. I do feel like there might be one more card, or it could be that it could be one of the other readings. Is it one of the other readings? I don't know. They're letting me shuffle, so I knew it. Oh, did I not say the biblical? Oh my gosh, you guys. This is where I'm like, when people are like, are you the real deal? I'm like, I can't make this fucking shit up if I tried. Like, I just pulled that card. You heard me shuffling. Anyway, what? So there's something with that too. It could be something where you have some past trauma from biblical times. Maybe you were a slave, and so maybe in this life you've enslaved yourself again, but you don't need to be a slave. That's not if you're a light worker, you're not meant to be a slave. Definitely not right now. Maybe in other times, sure, but you need to release and let that go. You know, I mean, look at the way he's working with just a hammer and a chisel. They tried to make us believe that, you know, there were no other places, or there were no other lifetimes before the biblical times. Like, everything started with Adam and Eve. And I mean, I literally got kicked out of Sunday school because I endlessly asked questions, to the point where they literally made me go out of it because I was a disruption to the class. Because I said, okay, well, I don't understand, because I'm like, if Adam and Eve were the only man and woman and she had 2 sons, I'm like, how did they have children? How did they have more people? Like, I was smart. Like, it's like, if you told me something, I was like, okay, you know, and then I went through the logic of it, and with, you know, so it could be something like that too, where you guys are like, you know, if you were raised on the Bible like I was just calling bullshit left and right and left and right. Like, I didn't get baptized, and then my parents got divorced, and my mom always said, like, I was the black sheep and I was the problem child because I was never baptized. And, you know, and it's like, no, it's because Jesus was like, this is bullshit. Like, you don't need this. This isn't part of you. You know what I mean? Like, I totally, like, was connected to God. I was totally connected to Jesus. I just wasn't connected to the bullshit of man, quote unquote. You know what I mean? Of the man. So this could be for you guys too. You know, it's time to say no. You know, I had to stop talking to my mother who was my best friend most of my life, my mother who died without me saying goodbye to her. Because one of the last things my mother said to me was that, because her Southern Baptist church, her Bible told her that I was a demon, that my gifts were from the devil, from the demonic dark realms and all this crap. And I was just like, I can't talk to you anymore, Mom. I'm like, this is my purpose. This is my path. This is what I'm meant to do. I've just denied it all these years because I wanted to be loved and accepted by my family. They never loved and accepted me, no matter what I fucking did, no matter what I said, no matter what I did, no matter how I acted, no matter how many masks I wore, no matter how many times I astral traveled and went to different places when I was sleeping or when I was awake. I never felt home. I never felt, until I finally said goodbye to all the people, places, things that didn't align with me. And I may live off the grid in my little hovel away from the world, but you know what? I'm okay with that because I'm never alone. Spirit is always with me, and Spirit is always with you. You are not alone. Any more cards for reading 2? Gosh, I feel like we've done so many readings in one reading. Okay, that's it, you guys. Oh, look at this, was at the bottom of the deck. Because you're angels. So you're never going to feel like you fit in, right? I mean, look what they did to Lucifer. They made Lucifer like the most evil, you know. Lucifer and Jesus are one and the same. They just have different jobs. You know what I mean? You hear me? You feel me? So it's time to take your focus off of what, like this old third dimensional world and the way you were raised or the way you were taught, or the way you were told, or the way that, you know, or you're waiting for this or you're waiting for that. Spirit's like, what are you waiting for? Remember that you're an earth angel. I believe every one of you on reading 2 are an earth angel. Here's the thing, in my experience, light workers aren't all exactly angels. They just may come from different parts of the universe, like they're warriors of some kind, like this was all like agreed upon. But some, we come from the angel realm. We are the hand of God. Like we're basically like, we're all God, right? Like we're all creation. But what I'm saying is that some of us, like we just have different jobs. So if you came here as an earth angel like myself, like you can't keep running away from your purpose and your path. And for some of you, it's, you know, it's going to look different. Go check out reading 1 if you were drawn to it. It's called Hope. So anyway, I'm going to leave this here. My throat's getting tight, so I feel like I'm just going to leave this here. I pray this helped you in any way. Remember that we, in real time, today is the 4th of August, and we are, wait, is today a 7 day and I said it was an 8? No, it's the 5th. Thank you, Spirit. I was looking at the calendar. I literally have it like on the 5th here. I don't know, but I feel like whatever I just said means something to somebody. But anyway, the new moon in Aquarius, which is also the crossover from the wood snake to the fire horse, is happening. So a lot of change and transformation is going to take place. Just allow it to happen. Follow the breadcrumbs. When you go to sleep with so much love in your heart. One of my favorite shamans and teachers that I ever worked with, she taught me from the Native American teachings. They call it the Dream Lodge. And the Dream Lodge is where all things are possible, but it's also a great place to meet with your ancestors. So, you know, don't have any type of concern when you go to sleep. Have excitement, you know. Your higher self and your soul knows what to do. Unfortunately, somewhere in there, you are allowing the third dimensional self, the ego, to hijack your sleep state, to help you to run away from the things. And you know what? It's just part of your journey, you know? So don't look at it like you did something wrong. It's part of your karmic path. It's just now this is the wake up. You don't need to do that anymore. Now you can go and have fun dreams. Go sit by a stream, under, you know, a mountain. You can create any place you want it, any temperature you want, any view. You can make it any place you want to go. You know, sometimes I think of in Twilight, where Bella and Edward used to go up in the mountains in that beautiful field, you know, wherever you want to go. If it exists in your mind, it exists. Go there. Love you so much. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other. All of my information is in the description box if you'd like to work with me one-on-one, or if you'd like to contribute to the work that I do on this channel. And remember that prayer is free. It's about the exchange of energy. I love you. See you next time. Bye. Hello and welcome, reading 3. You were drawn to Hearing You Now. That was my thing, by the way. That was the binder, but I feel like that, I don't know, maybe ASMR is something you guys need. I'm just feeling like this calming, healing energy. I looked over and my eyes were really drawn to this crescent moon. And it's interesting because I feel so many things when I look at this. But I feel like when I heard the Hearing You Now, in the description box, there'll be links for you to check out the songs, because all of these readings were inspired by different songs. Some, every single one of them, the title of these readings were taken from either the title of the album, or the title of the song, or both. But for some of them, it was the actual music, and yours is one of my favorite pieces of music. I don't remember it's from this album. I think it's called The Disciples Path or something like that. It's a really cool album, but I encourage you to listen to the whole album, but I'll put a link to just the song. But when they're saying Hearing You Now, it's the way that the image is, it feels like a very meditative, like connection, like guru feeling. And I feel that with you guys. You are on the disciples path, but there is definitely something from your past life that's holding you back from doing what you came here to do. But I feel like the moon wanted to come in. And also, if you look down to the right, the way that the light, the beautiful sun, thank you, Ra, the way the candle light as well. Thank you, fire goddess, God energy. I'm feeling a strong yang masculine energy, but you see the crystals are giving like a spark. If you were drawn to reading 2, I would highly suggest you check it out, because we spoke about the Arcturians. So I'm getting the vibe from you guys too that you may be descendants from the Arcturians, or you've worked with them before, or you're here on a mission on behalf of the Arcturians. Something came to my orbit yesterday about the Arcturians, and I remember when I first found out about them, I was like, I have absolutely positively, I'm either Arcturian, or I've been an Arcturian, or worked with the Arcturians. But if you're not familiar with who they are, they're kind of like the elders of the galaxy, the universe. From what I understand, they're part of the 9 that they call, the Galactic Council. So they have knowledge beyond anything we can comprehend in our 3rd dimensional reality and brains, and even through the 5th dimensional energies and beyond. I know because I've been working with them for several years, and the kind of information that they give me sometimes is a little overwhelming, because even when I share it with fellow light workers, it's even a little woo-woo out there for them, where I'm like, no, you guys, like, this is very real, so I do feel like they are here. Also, for you, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but your card, they had me put it upside down. I don't know what it is. So they're saying it's okay to jump into the card right now. So let's see what we got here. Oh, orphan. Oh, that's why it's upside down, because you're not an orphan, but you feel like you're an orphan. Oh, right? Like Earth can feel very dense and heavy and hardcore. I mean, if you've never, especially for some of you, if you've never been a human before, a lot of light workers that are here, believe it or not, that's why I think there are light workers and there are earth angels. I feel like the earth angels means like we've literally been human many times. That's why we have a different connection to Jesus, Enoch, I can go on and on of all the prophets that have lived, Buddha, Muhammad. It's like we have a different connection. We just do. We just have a different connection. Yes, Mary Magdalene. I heard probably somebody was like, nothing for the girls. It's like, because I don't see it that way, but I get it. But yeah, it can feel very isolating. And for some of you, you may have been put into families, friendships, jobs, all of the above, you know, home, where you are surrounded by third dimensional energy. Like they don't believe in anything you believe in at all. And that's a tough one because it does make you feel like you're an orphan, but you're not an orphan. You were placed in these homes, in these families. I too was in a very similar situation. We were placed in these families, we were placed in these situations to not only give us like the real raw third dimensional energy experience, right? Like the real thing. But also it's beyond that. It's for us to have a higher threshold for love, because we understand that we are light beings having a human experience. We understand that we are love, that we are pure love energy. We understand that. We know that. We feel it intrinsically. We're very quick to forgive. We're very quick to, you know, take care of others because of the orphan mentality. And look at how the orphan, you know, they could have just as easily had me put it the other way, meaning like the moon on the other side of the orphan card, but they wanted it this way because I feel like this is you, like looking up at the stars, looking up at the moon, like knowing and understanding that there's something way beyond this. Like I almost feel like you've been reincarnated so many times, you know, whether on this planet or other planets, like you've just been a server for spirit. You've been a light worker. Like that's what you were designed for. So it doesn't matter what world, galaxy, dimension, energy, solar system, whatever. You could be, you know, I'll take it from one of my favorite movies, you know, you could be in the form of a pinball machine or a sponge, like SpongeBob, you know what I mean? Like that could be real on another planet. And humans would be weird to you. You'd be like, what's a human being? You know what I mean? So it's different experiences. We're expanding the soul. We never die. So the loneliness that you're feeling is knowing that you're not from here, but not understanding what your path and your purpose is. Or for some of you, you know what your path and your purpose is, but you're not living it because you're afraid of being alone. I feel like for some of you, like you'd rather stay in this dysfunctional, horrible energy, these horrible relationships, than be alone. And Spirit's like, then that is the first place you need to work on, is your self-love and your self-care, because you are the number one priority. And your mission, should you choose to accept it, is we are less than 2 weeks away from the new moon in Aquarius, which is also the crossover of the baton from the wood snake to the fire horse. The fire horse, do you understand? The wood snake, wood is earth. The snake slithers on the earth, super grounded. People are like, oh, the year of the snake. Oh, it's like, yeah, well, we were very fortunate that it was the earth snake, because the whole point was to keep us grounded and close to the earth and not forget where we come from. You're in an avatar right now. You are a human being. Welcome to earth. I remember I kept hearing over and over and over and over, I got this new job, which brought with it a new community, a whole new group of friends, totally like changed and shifted my life completely. But the one thing that I heard over and over and over was, you got to get grounded, honey. You're so ungrounded. Okay, all right, breathe, get calm, get grounded. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, why does everybody keep saying that to me? They're like, because you're not. They're like, you don't even realize how ungrounded you are. And it took me a long time to understand what they were saying. But what they were saying was that I was such a high, powerful, like light being, but I was like constantly going, moving, because if I had to stand still or stay still or get grounded or be quiet for any long period of time, my heart would start to beat out of my chest. Like I couldn't breathe. And I didn't understand, because being a telepathic medium and a very like high level empath, and you know, I don't take that like I'm a hell of an empath. I'm saying like I have traveled the world and worked with different shamans, teachers, you know, elders, whatever you want to call them, and all of them were like, I have never met a sensitive like you before. They're like, it's crazy. They're like, how do you like stay grounded? I'm like, I have to you know, really work at it. I have to meditate a lot. I have to, especially being a telepath. We all have the same abilities that I do. It's just that mine are like exposed. Like one of my teachers had said to me, they're like, I was talking about how when I was a kid, my tooth was cracked and I had this, you know, until they put a new tooth on, the exposure to the nerve was so intense. They were helping me go through some healing stuff. So after we had worked together and I was starting to master certain things, or not that we ever master, but like was definitely from one where I started, they said, you're like that exposed nerve. So you have to work double time to make sure that the air doesn't hit it a certain way, that the water's not too hot and the water's not too cold, you know? So I learned to understand what grounding means and to get connected in my body. And I did that through pain and suffering of healing that had to take place through my body. So I understand 100% what you're going through. Of course, our experiences are different and yours are your own. But I do understand what it feels like to not belong anywhere, to look to the stars, to look to the earth, to play with the animals, to feel some type of connection, because I didn't understand humans, especially the humans in my life that were so mean or hateful or manipulative or, you know, cruel to animals, or things that like were just too much for me to bear. I understand. But Spirit is hearing you now. You know, I feel like when you, from the time you were a child to even now, you're like, Spirit, what am I supposed to do? What is my calling? What am I? And they're like, this is what you need to let go of. That you're, what's that old saying? You're in the world, or is it you're in the world, not of it, or you're of the world, not in it? You know what I'm saying? Like, however that translates for you. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like we are here in avatars, but we have a higher understanding and a higher threshold for bullshit, you know, because we know that if someone's lying to us, it's not about them or you, you know, it's about something that triggered in them or forced them at some point to create a false narrative. So right now, why 2026 has been called the undoing is because we are now seeing what we co-created. I'm getting a Taylor Swift reference. I don't know who that's for. But we're getting this download from Spirit of understanding that we come from a place that's not of this world. I have the chills all over my body. And we have a much grander purpose. Earth is a school for the soul. Everybody who is alive on Earth has a right to be here. Even if we don't like them or like their choices, we still love them because we understand that they are part of us too. And we're all part of something bigger. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to watch the movie Contact with Jodie Foster. If you've seen it before, do you remember the ending? When she's asking, where do we come from? Where, you know? And the energy responds the way they respond and say, none of us know. We're all in a search for purpose. And Spirit hopes that brings you comfort, because Earth is not the only planet that people are like, where do we come from? Why are we here? Why is this happening? I feel like we're about to do like not just a global change, but I feel like we're about to have a universal change where we may just like, this may be the time now where we will start going between timelines, traveling in spaceships to different planets and different solar system, and seeing it like being in an avatar of some kind, and not just seeing it through the eyes of our spiritual soul. I know that's a little deep and a little out there and woo-woo for some, but, you know, I don't know if you guys noticed this fossil. This is a, oh, I forgot that candle was there. That's a fossil right there. That was gifted to me for Christmas this last year. And I think that's what they want us to see, is that as above, so below. We are all one. It's all connected. And we're starting to see that now. Let me see if there's any more cards for you. Okay, do we have any more cards for reading 3? No. So they're saying your mission, should you choose to accept it, if you have the time, when you're done watching these readings, whichever, because you may just watch this one, maybe you're down to another one, go and listen to this song, but do it in a way that you could be really quiet, where nobody's going to bother you, so you can hear any other personal further downloads from Spirit that they have for you. Okay, reading 3? Because they are hearing you, but now they want you to hear them. All right, until next time, all of my information is in the description box if you'd like to work with me one-on-one, with couples. We do groups. Because it's not just me, right? It's like me and my spirit team. And we do work on a sliding scale. And there are different options available. Whichever one that Spirit is drawn for us to work on together, we will do it. And so just email me if you'd like to go further into your past life, or if you'd like to know more about your future or what's going on with you personally, or, you know, because obviously you guys are on a completely different track than reading 1 and reading 2, and I have no idea what 4 and 5 have to hold, but yours was really cool and really awesome. Thank you for allowing me to be here for you today and to be your translator through Spirit to help you connect to yourself and the divine. But if you'd like to connect further, you can email me. That's in the description box. And there are also forms of, if you'd like to contribute to this channel in any way, and remember that prayer is free. It's really just all about the exchange of energy. So we'll see you next time. Blessed be. Oh, love you. Goodbye. Welcome, reading 4. I feel like I just walked through a portal with you guys. Like, I mean, every reading, I literally open and close portals, but this feels different. And I have to tell you, the song that goes with the title of your reading, Monochrome by Mumford & Sons, I love that song. And it's interesting because when I was putting your reading together, I got a completely different energy from it. They actually had me look up the definition of monochrome. So monochromatic is a terminology that they use a lot in the art world, or when putting things together, meaning like it's all the same, like it's all the same color. It's like monochrome. But in the actual description, they speak of monochrome as being a photo, like a black and white photo. So I thought that was kind of interesting too. So I don't know what your card is or what is going on, but when I do, before we turn the card over, I do want to say that you're the only reading that they had me go down to a darker lighting like this. But also, I kind of felt that energy, like I got the chills, like the black and white energy, which to me also translates to the third dimensional energy. I feel like at this point now, I feel like anyone who's still like voluntarily living in the third dimensional world is like volunteering to live in black and white instead of Technicolor. It's like Dorothy wanted to go home to her family, but when I looked down, it was 1818. So definitely work with angel number 1818, but also it's 99. And 9s are the last number before 10. It's like you're almost there, you're almost at the end. And I feel like some of you, I'm getting this very numb energy, like my whole body like just went numb, like it's almost like hard to talk. I feel like my tongue went numb. I feel like you're numbing out. So with that being said, let's see what your card is and find out because the title of this reading is What Past Life is Holding You Back from Your Future. So why are you living in black and white instead of Technicolor? Let's find out why. Because maybe some of you don't know. Oh, forgiveness. I literally heard one of my spirit guides go, oh, snap. Forgiveness. Wow. You know, if you were drawn to reading 3, I was seeing birds everywhere for reading 3. So if you're drawn to reading 3, go check it out. This was one of those readings, though, if you didn't watch the beginning, Spirit did say that it was really important to not watch like all of them, because I know sometimes you guys are like, oh, I like watching all of them. I'm like, I mean, it could be that all of these things are what are holding you back, but this is right now, this is a very serious, I took this reading to be like very serious, you know, biblical, you know, interesting that came up in one of the other readings, but you know what I mean? Like, no, for real though, with like all jokes aside, in fact, I'm gonna take a screenshot because I feel like that could be a nice, anyway, forgiveness is a tough one. And it took me many moons to, and I wouldn't even say master it, but I definitely have a higher threshold for forgiveness now than I ever have. And especially because once in a while, Spirit will draw me to look at, you know, as Taylor Swift's brother would say, searching through the trash. What was that in her new song where she's like, basically she's talking about like reliving, you know, old relationships, or seeing, you know, going back to, you know, certain people, places, and things is like eaten out of the trash. That's what he said, something like that. Please put in the description box below which song it is. I don't remember. I do love her, you know, her latest album that came out in October. I listened to the whole album. I love the whole thing, but I have to admit, it's not like certain albums of hers, like I listen to over and over and over, and I know more, you know what I mean? Because they like affected me more in that time period. And though I love all of her songs and the elation that comes through at the same time, you know what I mean? It's like, I just, you know, you just have certain connections to certain things. Anyway, I digress. But forgiveness is a doozy. And it is the only way to move forward. And they're bringing to mind the Asian proverb, and I'm paraphrasing, I don't know if I'm saying this exactly correctly, but they say, it's something about drinking the poison and expecting the other person to die. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, you can, whenever we put ill will out into the world, it's going to come back to us. That's what karma is. Karma is just an energy. The universe is just a mirror. So when we're telling the universe X, Y, and Z, then it'll mirror it back to us and say, okay, so how does that feel? So you do something really heinous and somebody doesn't forgive you. How does that feel? Shitty. Feels shitty. You know, did you ever look at a word, like just stare at it, and then you start to go, what does that mean? What language is that? That's what I'm having right now with forgiveness. I feel like for some of you, it's like another language for you, and a language that you need to learn and master, or at least work on mastering in this life. Because let me tell you something. The more I forgive people, the more I really feel lighter. And Spirit drew me to look at something in the last few days. And this isn't like a ha-ha. If anything, it made me more sad. But Spirit drew me to look at a picture of somebody I knew that I haven't seen in many, 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 many moons. And they did wrong by me. I mean, over and over and over and over and over and over. But I still pray for them and wish them well. I was led to look at a picture of them that was current, and my heart literally broke. Because I'm like, really? Like, that's how you're going to end it? Like, and I prayed for them and thought, oh, Spirit, please let them find their heart. Let them find their, you know, so they can release that energy, that they can release that body energy. I could tell by looking at their body how unhealthy they were, and just how, like, just the sadness in their eyes. Like, my heart just broke. you know, and I'm like, I forgive them. If I ever wish them ill will, I rescind it. Right now, let's do that together. If I ever sent ill will towards any person, place, or thing out of malice or discontent, I rescind it. And I send in its place love and healing and understanding and peace. Whatever's in their greatest and highest good, I claim it for them and myself. And so it is. Blessed be. Oh. And you can say any languaging that feels good, any prayer. But right now, we just released everybody. Now they can go and be free. Because I bet your body feels better. My body feels better. I actually feel a pit in my stomach that I can tell like I'm going to need to work out through later. Because our body, our muscles, we have memory. We have soul memory. We have body memory. No more pain and suffering. If you have a lot of physical pain or any type of anxiety, suffering, it is because of the ill will you have sent out into the world, whether in past lives or this one. And I also say, Spirit, and that applies to this life and all of my lives, past, present, and future, whatever's in all of our greatest and highest good, I release it now. With love and light and peace and understanding and happiness and joy and abundance in all areas, whatever's in everyone's greatest and highest good, we send them love, peace, happiness, healing, abundant energy. We forgive, we let go, we release. Doesn't that feel good? Just let it go. We release it. Thank you, Spirit, with love in our hearts. Thank you for the grounding energy. Thank you for this clearing and cleansing. We forgive it. We let it go. It no longer belongs to us or them. We set them free from their misery. And so it is. In the greatest and highest good of all, each individual soul. We ask this today, Spirit, and so it is. Blessed be all. Thank you. With grace and gratitude, we thank you. With good intentions, we thank you. Let's leave it behind with this last moon cycle of the snake. There's no accident that the year of the snake and the year of the horse are both together, coming and going on the new moon, on a solar eclipse. I mean, talk about transfer of power and energy. Forgive it. Let it go. It doesn't belong to you. Let it flow. That's it, reading 4. That's all I have to say. The rest of it is for you to understand on your way. And I will put a link below to the song. But work with that. You're a child of the divine. Do we want to pull one more card? Let me see. Nope, that's it. We'll do one more. Do we have any more? We'll ask the spirits any more messages for reading 4. Nope, let it go. We'll see you next time. All of my information's in the description box. Blessed be. Oh, we love you. Bye-bye. Welcome, reading 5. Welcome, reading 5. You have made it. You're a tremendous success. However, they had me put your card upside down. So let's see what is going on, because this is what past life is holding you back from your future. Let's see what it is. Trees. Oh, but it was in reverse. So let's see. I'm going to read from the book. I didn't read from the book from all of them. Maybe it's something they want you to see. I'm feeling like they want me to zoom in. Okay. Ooh, psychedelic. This is kind of fun. Do we want to go dark? Let me see. No. Okay, so trees, huh? What are you guys... This card indicates that you have a special relationship to trees. In ancient times, particularly in Celtic and Eastern European cultures, trees were considered sacred. They're still considered sacred. The Druids looked to oak trees for prophetic information, and ancient healers used tree ingredients such as willow bark for medicine. It's also on page 91, and we're going to talk about that. Okay, your connection to trees may have been spiritual, including the ability to receive messages from them. In some cases, these seemingly non-sentient trees are animated by real souls known as tree people. You may have been a tree person or a tree deva, D-E-V-A, in this life or a prior lifetime. This card asks you to spend more time connecting with trees for healing, knowledge, and inner peace. So it was in reverse. Maybe some of you love trees, but like now they're like really trying to get you to connect with them. They want you to see it from a different vantage point. It's like, so this is upside down, right? Like, have you ever laid on the ground in a forest when the sun's coming through and look up through the trees? I feel like for some of you, this would be a good way for you to meditate. You know, maybe you have a backyard that has trees or a forest nearby or somewhere, but I'm definitely getting from spirit, like this is how you connect with the divine. I'm hearing earth angel, earth angel. You guys are earth angels. If you didn't know this, welcome to your world. You have a different connection to the world. And for some of you, that's how you connect to spirit. You know, find yourself a favorite tree in your yard. Maybe there's a hike you go on or a favorite park and you're really drawn to a tree and you always sit with that tree. Name that tree or sit with the tree and ask the tree what name they would like you to call it. You know, I heard like shadow work, like they're really good to, they're such good listeners. Trees are really good listeners and they'll give you really wise wisdom. Go to the oldest tree in the park, go to the oldest tree in your yard. You know what I mean? Also, go to the one you're attracted to, because some trees can actually grow really fast and they look like they're the oldest tree in the yard, but there could be a tree in your yard that's actually older than that tree, but it doesn't get to be that big. Right? Like maybe you live in an orchard or an old orchard and the apple tree is, you know, so old, like, you know, anyway, I just got that. Okay. So do we have any more messages? You know what? Isn't this funny? I felt like some people would go to 5 because they're like tremendous success, but it's like, isn't that funny? That means that their success lies in the trees too, right? Like maybe preserving or helping the trees, maybe educating people on like bamboo is there's a reason why people have been wanting to switch to bamboo for years, because it grows so, it's like a weed almost. It's like the weed of trees. They grow super fast. They're very invasive, but they could be used for so many things. But then that would take people out of the lumber industry, which was a huge moneymaker for a lot of cultures, a lot of places in the world. I know, I live in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, I have seen, I call them graveyards. I have seen so many areas that have been, you know, thank goddess now they have like, you know, put in where they're like the elder trees aren't allowed to be touched, because when I would travel up here in the Pacific Northwest, my heart and my gut would like ache. I would literally start to cry when I'd see these pictures of people from like the 1800s and the early 1900s cutting down like 400-500-year-old trees. And it's like, you didn't need to do that. It's like, that doesn't, like, why would you cut a giant down? It's like those people who just hunt animals for sport and not for food or anything. Also, you guys, there's a hummingbird outside my window. Oh my gosh, work with the hummingbird spirit medicine. Holy crap, work with the hummingbird. Oh my goodness. And it's on the, I can tell that it's a hummingbird because of the way it's flying, but it's like going from branch to branch. People don't realize that hummingbirds also like to just relax and chill. You know, sometimes they don't want to be moving. Their heartbeat is going like 100 miles a minute. So work with hummingbird spirit medicine. Thank you, hummingbird. We love you so much. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Oh, they really have my attention right now. Okay. Okay. So for some of you, this is an issue. This is a past life thing. It's not in this life. It's time for you to make peace with it. You are not poor. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. Actually, I'm going to do something special. After we are done here, I am going, I'm going to put it this way. I've cleared and cleaned out my phone, but it does what it wants to do when it does what it wants to do. And I'm getting this vibe. It may like stop. So if it does, follow the breadcrumbs to the link to this, because Spirit just had me pull out my spirit medicine book, and I'm going to read about the hummingbird. But I feel like there is, I feel like for some of you, you were drawn to one of the other readings, 1 through 4. There's definitely some spirit medicine in there for you that may be linked to why you're having that issue with finances. But it's not going to be for everybody. It may even be for one person, you know what I mean? So I try to just be very mindful of that. This reading was very particular because this is, you know, we're getting so close to the new moon in Aquarius, which is also the passing of the torch from the year of the wood snake to the year of the fire horse, which is, you know, going to be 2026 is going to be one of the most magical years we've seen on Earth in like thousands of years, astrologically speaking, just the way everything's aligning. Some things that have never happened before, things that were like you'd see in a movie, but it's going to happen in good ways, right? Like the miracles. That's why the hummingbird came in. They want you to keep, the hummingbirds are the representation of joy. And you know, the way they flit about, it's like, I just did something recently with the hummingbird. I think we did an animal spirit reading. If they call me to, check out in the description box, there's always links for things in there. But I just did a reading where we worked with the hummingbird, and it's kind of interesting because literally like I said something like, I go, who doesn't like a hummingbird? I'm like, have you ever seen anybody go, oh, a hummingbird, ew. They just bring joy. Like most people are like, oh, look, a hummingbird, you know, especially like the real iridescent ones that are just like glittering in the light. And they're saying, you're just like the hummingbird. You're galactic. You're not of this world. You have something very special to give. Your tremendous success is you being connected to who you really are. Oh, look what was on the back of the other one. Biblical. Yes, this came up in one of the other readings too. So it could be some of you, you're connected to old things. Yeah, this came up in readings 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So whichever one you're drawn to. But they were just saying like, just don't go too crazy reading all of them or watching all of them, because some of them have very, very specific medicine for just some people. So they don't want people to get too like clogged up and, you know, in their head kind of thing. But the biblical thing was a big thing too. So I feel like for some of you, what's holding you back is like your parents' shit, you know, whether your parents were poor or their parents were poor, you know, like when I was growing up, my family prided themselves on, you know, coming to America with like nothing and building, you know, their fortune. But at the same time, there was always that constant talk of the struggle, which I think in some way imprinted into like that we were meant to struggle somehow, or that it made us more successful if we struggled. And now, after years of therapy and working with spirit, I realized that no, I don't have to struggle. You know what I mean? Like struggling is a choice. And if you understand, you understand. And if you don't, that's what you need to look at. Because you are an abundant being. You're a galactic being. You're a light being having a human experience, and you're allowed to have what you want. So this new moon is about setting intentions, but like writing the biggest wish list to Santa Claus that you could ever write. And it can be outlandish. Let it be outlandish. That's what they want. Like right now, the universe is like, oh, yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. You know what I mean? So it's like everything that we put out into the universe is going to get mirrored back to us on that eclipse, like on that energy. There's so many magical things happening within the 24 hours, and even passing of the torch from Aquarius to Pisces, like just all these magical things that are going to happen. I mean, the new moon in Aquarius is going to be happening within 24 hours of it becoming Pisces season, you know? I mean, those kind of things are really, really, really powerful. Also, I saw 138. So you may look at angel number 138, but I also saw the number 11. Okay. So I feel like we're going to leave that there. And then I'm going to do an extension. Let me see, Spirit, do we have any more messages for reading 5? Yeah, I'll be doing some more stuff leading up to it, but whenever you watch this, it's timeless. Even if it's gone past that time frame, you know, it's like you can still work with that energy. It's just that in 2026, it's going to be the most potent year energetically that we've seen in thousands of years, and in some cases we've never seen before. And it's literally about just like setting, you know, saying it to the stars and saying, I'm a millionaire. I have $7,144,000 in my bank account. I am magic. I'm a beautiful soul. I am royalty. I am amazing. I am kind. I am gentle. I am loving. I am giving. I am gracious. I am grateful. Just putting out all these wonderful things. I am healthy. And just no matter how and if you're having the worst shit day, go sit with that tree, go into nature, work with nature. I feel like for some of you, I mean, do you notice how that rosemary is there on the bottom? I thought it was just going to be for another one of the other readings, but it's for us too. As above, so below, but also like grounding with nature. Gaia is where it's at. The more you support, love, and help Gaia, the more the universe will help you. Seriously. Gaia is going through a massive transformation now, and she needs us more than ever. Another reason why the hummingbird came in, right? We all need each other. We are divinely connected. So I'm being called to do a special little reading about the hummingbird. So there'll be a link for that in the description. Follow the breadcrumbs and continue to follow the breadcrumbs now, because the only thing holding you back is your lack of awareness of self and others, and letting go and accepting what is. See, like I can get upset. Oh man, that gross truck, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? It's where I'm at right now. But I'm not going to let that ruin my moment or ruin my day. Somebody does something not so nice, love them back. The more you push back with love and kindness, the more the universe will pay you in kind. Don't focus on lack. Focus on abundance. Say, this is where I am now, but Spirit's got me. I know they got something for me. I know they do. And when my time comes, because it's divine timing, don't look to what other people have. Your divine timing is not somebody else's divine timing. All of us on this reading together, there's so many of us, our divine timing is different. You're not in lack. You're only in lack if you think you are. Dolly Parton always says, right? You're only as poor as you want to be. If you have food and you have shelter and you have running water, you are richer than most people on this planet. Remember those things. All right, you guys, do you have any more messages for reading 5? Okay. All right, you guys, until next time, all of my information is in the description box. If you'd like to work with me one-on-one or contribute to the work that I do on this channel, remember that prayer is free and it's all about the exchange of energy. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other, and follow the breadcrumbs to watch this hummingbird reading, but also check out your song, number 5. That's your tremendous success. You know what it is? Chavela Vargas. And if I remember correctly, the translation of the song, oh, you know what? They're telling me not to say it. Follow the breadcrumbs. Listen to the song. Feel the power of Chavela. Feel her power. If you don't know who she is, it's about time you research her. She's amazing. She's left us now, but she's still with us. And look up the English version of the lyrics and look at them side by side. Anyway, but listen to the song first and then go and seek out the lyrics, because it's really powerful. All right, you guys, you're powerful too. When I looked down, I saw 420. Smoke them if you got them. Hey, if it's legal where you live, cannabis may be for some of you guys. Maybe that's the medicine that you need to help you, because some people, you know, I've been using cannabis medicine daily for so many moons now that I wouldn't even begin to tell you. And it's my medicine. I need it to survive, and at least right now in this energy, and there's no shame in that. But for some of you that are on prescription drugs and medications, they're not for you. You can find your way through other things. Right now, they're doing a lot of mushroom stuff. I mean, there's just a lot of plant and medicine healing that you can do that's not through a man-made drug that fucks with your system that is natural. I don't know who that was for. But remember, also, I'm not a doctor, and I don't want you to go cold turkey. Do it. I've been on prescription drugs, and I tried to go cold turkey, and it wasn't good. I was almost in the hospital. Okay, so obviously make good choices, do the research, all that, but ask your doctor how you can get off of it, you know, because for me, my doctor was like, just start taking less. That's the best way to do it. Let your body naturally go off of it. And I didn't use cannabis when I was on it. And when I went down to half the dosage, I started using cannabis. My doctor couldn't recommend that because it was illegal where I lived at the time. But she kind of did the wink wink on the side because she knows that I'd used it for years and it always worked well for me. And you know what? It saved my life. So just a little, you know, thing out there. And obviously, you know, you want to be somewhere where you can get a medical card where it's legal, or if it's hopefully legal somewhere. I actually moved to the Pacific Northwest and didn't realize that. I mean, I'm so grateful that I live in a place where it's legal, and I'm moving to a place where it's not legal. But I was like, I'll get a medical card, you know, I'll do what I have to do, you know, because I know that's what my body needs, but I have to go through the man-made construct of it, you know, to do it legally. Anyway, you hear what I'm saying. I love you guys. Take good care of yourselves. We'll see you next time. Blessed be at home. Love you. Bye. And don't forget to check out the Hummingbird. Follow in the description box. Follow the link. All right. Bye.